Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh. This is one of our Patreon campaigns. Shout out to all of our Patreons. Everyone here on the screen is a Patreon. Without their support, the one-shots, marathons, three-shots, everything that we do on this channel would not be possible. Thank you very much for your support. And if you're interested in more information on what benefits you... Oh.
You're okay?
Hi.
Huh? Can you bring me some? Okay.
Bring me some too.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, I thought I muted my mic. Fuck.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You're good. What am I getting? What?
It's chicken and potato hash.
Oh,
I'll
delicious.
take it.
I'll take it. Yep. Thank you, Piper. Check out all of our previous episodes of Secrets in Saltmarsh and all of our other campaigns over on our YouTube. If you'd like to interact with this game, there are a couple of ways you can do so. You can redeem channel points for free to grant a blessing to the player of your choice, which is an advantage or reroll. Or if you'd like to add an element of fate to the narrative, every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things to the player of your choice. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Tell me who you are, where we can find you, and reintroduce your character for me, please. We'll start with Emma. Hi.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. I'm getting food soon, so I'm gonna do this really fast. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. I'm also writing All the Witches, which is a TTRPG game about witches. You can find information about that at allthewitches_ on Twitter, or on its Kickstarter page is where the updates are happening regularly. And I play Arlen Ruvelath, a cool little cleric warlock who became the captain of the Sea Lily and the default leader of the crew sometimes. But yeah, good stuff.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to GeekDice.
Hey folks, I'm GeekDice. You can find me on X at geek_dice. I sometimes check that to see if anything's going on over there. Not often enough, maybe. I am playing KayBee, or Kiss Me Bright Bloom. He is a Fenadiri, which is like a brownie. If you know old school D&D, he's a brownie. He's a fae spirit that lives normally in a house or under the house and comes out at night and does chores and will steal crumbs and is grateful if you leave a cup of milk. But those are the long days ago. Now, KayBee is an adventurer, inspired by all the things that could be. KayBee struck out on the road, met some great friends, and learned how to be an artificer and a wizard and a fighter. And he thinks he's important, but more importantly, he knows his friends are important. So let's go get him. Yay!
Yay! Thank you so much. Up on over to GodfatherWraith.
Hi, I'm GodfatherWraith, V_ESG, but you can just call me Godfather, Tim, or Wraith, or pretty much anything you want except late for dinner. I play Garen. He's really good at hearing, noticing things and making things dead. But he's really good at also being kind of quiet and nondescript.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to John.
Hello there, I'm John, also known as Andicarus on the internet. And on this particular portion of the internet, I'm also known as Pole of Ammonfort. Pole is a former street waif from the big city of Ammonfort who was saved by a vision from the demigod Heward, or hero god. And he's been trained as a warlock, but he's a different kind of warlock than you might be used to. Instead of zapping people with eldritch energy, he uses his powers to solve things non-violently. And he is accompanied not only by his friends, the other PCs here in the party, but many little tiny friends like Penny Sprinkle, the Pixie, forget the name of the little lobster guy.
Shern,
the talking lobster, Buttons the mouse, and most recently Swarmy, the swarm of rats.
Yep.
There's also a little friend who's kind of stuck inside a lantern named Milvia,
Hmm.
and he's promised to get her out somehow, but he doesn't really know how yet.
And then also recently there was a seagull.
Oh yes.
That you determined has some unnatural intelligence and cleverness, perhaps alluding to the fact that they are more than just a seagull. But yeah, they have taken a liking to Arlen at the moment because of some procurement of fish.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens there. Thank you very much. And then we'll pop on over to Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie IMZ. Whatever name you like to call me. I'm the lore keeper and captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips. That's up your own discretion. Today I play Finn Coulson, who is a ranger researcher who's trying his best to figure out all of this undead nonsense. As been previously mentioned before, part of Finn's backstory is that his entire town was ravaged by a huge swarm of undead. So ever since then, he's been trying to fight his way through everything. Found a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman by the name of Abigail, and they kind of joined together to kind of fight all of this evil. Tragedy struck, and Finn kind of lost himself for a while until one day he said that there's no way that this can just be. He's gonna have to find this out. He's gonna have to avenge that death. So he found a fun little group of adventurers and has been traveling with them ever since, and they've grown from being just, cool, neat people to close friends. So, and now we're here. Finn in the last episode has been dealing with a whole day, which me as a player didn't realize all of this happened in one day. But Finn dealt with an entire day full of mind warps and seeing a horde of zombies come again, and the sun disappear and go, nah, just kidding, and then comes back again. And then made a shady deal last episode and is just tired. And now the shady deal equals an eyeball on a fancy bed. So I guess we'll have to see where that goes.
Yes, as a recap of what happened last time, essentially you discovered the remaining survivors of the Hermitage. They were led by a woman by the name of Janor, and there were two other survivors, Barrett and Morley, who were both extremely ill. The party essentially split up, taking the one good rowboat to prioritize the ill people and sending them back to Uskarn, while the rest of you decided to stay back and mend the remains of another boat that was here. And upon doing so, you had a small fight. You dealt with some of the Chul, which were these demonic underwater creatures that were hiding underneath this mass of bodies caught in a net. You took care of them no problem, and with that, you fixed the boat and made your way back several hours later. You're reunited with Finn back at the soup house. Sorry, it was the bookstore. You're in the back of the bookstore where Finn has helped set up a sort of emergency triage for the sick folk. Finn, you had met with the dock master, and there you had basically said that you'll deliver a package, no questions asked, in order to get a significant discount on a cure disease potion. So that deal was made, and then as soon as you reunited with your companions, they were like, oh yeah, we can take care of the disease, no problem. We just need to look at our spell books. And you all decided to open the box. We'll start off there.
So KayBee had opened this box, delighted at the possibility of uncovering some crime in progress. But now that the box lays open and this eye is looking up at all of us, looking around the room, KayBee is kind of like, he puts the box on the table and kind of turns it so the box can see everybody.
Yeah, so there was this dark box that had these deep grooves cut into it. Garen and KayBee had both finessed this box to open. You disabled a trap that would have sprayed acid all over the group of you. And now that it lays open, you see essentially this cushion of dark silk. And nestled in the very center of the box is a single eyeball. And the eyeball wriggles back and forth, looking at each and every one of you as it sits back. The smoke that had been pooling out of the box, it begins to stop. It's dissipating slowly, but it is still hovering near your ankles on the floor here. Dark and thick, almost as if an ink cloud.
Snick, close it.
Okay.
Oh, Paul, it's another friend for your collection.
Well, I'm open to it. I'm open to it, but it's a bit creepy. That's not nice to say for a potential friend, I guess. Doesn't have a mouth though. I don't know how to talk to it. I don't know if it has ears. Looks like it's just well, I know. It'll probably like seeing pictures, and I'll get out the loot. Open it up again. I'll see if I can explain things.
Real quick.
Okay.
Based on my knowledge of magic, do I have any idea what this is?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Cool. That is a 20.
Okay.
Dirty.
With a 20, this is definitely magic. It's a magic item at the very least. Beyond that, you'll have to probably do some more extensive research.
I open up the box and turn it towards Paul.
When you open it, there's like a small like exhale of like, more smoke comes creeping out.
All right, so yeah, he's going to start playing his lute, making a little illusion, explaining basically little cartoon versions of each of us and how we're very friendly and how we help people. And then we'll make a cartoon version of the eye just following us along and helping people. And then give it a nodding thing. So if it agrees and wants to do that, it should know to nod, just like I nodded. And nodding will just be like moving its eyeball up and down.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
All right. I'm going to use inspiration to get that
All right.
sweet advantage on this one.
Sounds good to me.
Persuasion. 25. Good choice to use
25.
it.
Okay. So you see the eye twitching and it's moving in a way that indicates it is 100% perceiving at the very least what you are trying to show it. And at the end, when you like nod towards the eye looks back towards you. You can't really get a sense of any emotion. There is no eyelid. It is literally just an eye.
Mhm.
It just stares at you, unmoving. And while you do that, oh, I almost forgot. GodfatherWraith, thank you so much for the card draw. For everyone at the table, we'll start off with Zombie. Tell me when to stop.
So generous, Godfather. So generous of you. Stop.
Oh,
Stop.
okay. Garen.
And how about stop?
Ooh, KayBee.
Here, just a second. Almost there. A little bit more. Okay, stop.
I want the one right under KB's.
Okay. All right. Love it. It's really fun. Really fun. There's a lot of blue on the table today.
Oh.
Okay.
Blue is good, right?
Maybe. It's not
Blue's
red.
a good color, yeah.
Not red, yeah.
Most of the bad cards have a lot of red. Yeah, so Paul, you definitely get the sense you've communicated something and it doesn't acknowledge it other than pinpointing at you.
All right, well, I think it's undecided at the moment, but let's just, get off on the right foot here and assume that it'll come around.
All right.
So does that mean that you're gonna supervise?
Sure, I'll supervise it. How big is the box?
The box is about the size of like an envelope. So it's like about like 4 by like 7 inches.
All right.
Can any
So-
of you communicate psychically?
No.
Really? Not very well. I
Hey.
try.
That's all right.
I mean, I can with Penny, but not really with anyone else.
Okay, just a thought.
So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the box. I keep it open so the little guy can see,
Hmm.
and I'll take a little bit of string,
Hmm.
tie it up so it can be right on my shoulder, and then it can see whatever I see. If I turn, it can see. Either way. KayBee
Okay.
could probably make something better. I'll ask him, hey, when you have some time, maybe you could rig something up. And but for now, I'll just do that.
Hey.
Okay. What name does he go by? Any idea?
Well, you don't have a mouth, so we'll have to come up with something.
Igor.
Igor? All right. Sure, Igor is the name.
I don't think KayBee communicated this in character, but Stella, you said KayBee recognized it as potentially like something similar to a magical item.
Yes, that was what KayBee could discern. I
Could
don't
it
think
be
he said out loud.
identified?
Yeah, probably.
Potentially.
Maybe.
Just putting that out there.
All right. Well, just because it's a magic item, don't mean it's not someone in there. So I'm gonna be careful with it.
I know, right? All the magic
know.
items are like talking to people and waving at you, and
As you have this
Yeah.
box like mounted on your shoulder, it's a bit precarious at the moment because it's not meant to be like that. The eyeball kind of wriggles around a little bit, just bouncing around a bit. You just hear these really faint whispers, these disembodied like it's really disconcerting.
Hey, Igor, if you can speak up a little bit. I don't know if you know common. If you can speak up a little, I can barely hear you. Try it a little louder if you can.
It just continues like every now and then. It fades away a few times.
Is it a discernible language?
No. It's
Okay,
just,
it's just
generally
gibberish.
kind of scary.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was speaking in like another different like language.
It's more
It's
of
kind of like the ocean,
ambiance.
except evil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Speaking evil. Okay, I don't have that in my
Yeah,
language.
it's
Sorry.
not. They're not words. It's just a vibe.
That's great. I like that. What do you
Maybe
speak in?
later,
I speak in vibe.
yeah, maybe you can vibe together, and maybe you can attune to it.
True.
Yeah, I don't know.
But wouldn't you
I
have to hold
find
the
it,
eyeball?
I don't know, I find it rather unnerving. Garen will walk away.
Yeah. So the group of you are currently in the study of the bookstore, and you have kind of on these makeshift pots where the tables have been cleared off. 2 of the individuals that are very sick are currently laying down, sleeping. You've been given a blanket, a shroud, and there are a number of chairs. You're essentially in like a private study, and the door's currently closed. So it's late outside. You're inside of the store, and yeah.
So
You-
it's late in the day, you said?
Yes.
So is this place been allocated to us as a place that we can stay, or, I mean, or do
Uh,
we need to find it?
Yeah, so the owner of Vortanum was the individual that you worked with at the soup kitchen. He has essentially given you this space to rest if you like, but if you want to go to an inn or whatever you like, you're welcome to do that.
How far away from the ship?
So you took the rowboat to Uskarn. It'll
Mhm.
be about like an hour, 2 hours to go out to the ship.
Okay.
Because the Sea Lily is not by the docks; it's out in the ocean.
So
Well, if we're gonna stay here, I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep, get some rest, so I can prepare that magic tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I'm exhausted. We have been awake for an entire day.
well, that's why I was saying if we wanted to go back to beds in our ship, but I'm good with wherever. And I'll point over to the person with the blue. What was the name of the person with the blue rat? I'm sorry.
Blue what?
The NPC
The blue rat?
that's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blue Rot. Yes. So there's Barrett, who is just unconscious, and then
Okay.
Morley does have Blue Rot on them, and is sick but is currently sleeping, and then Janor was healthy.
Okay. So I'll point over at the one that's, I guess, passed out from it because they've been, they're very sick. And he'll look at Arlen and said, you said you can do the restoration, right?
Me and KayBee.
Oh,
I-
well, I think before we do anything, let's make sure that they're stable enough so that nothing happens to them while we're I was told it'd be a couple days, but like there may not be a point in letting them suffer any more than they have to. But yeah, other than that, I'm ready to pass out too.
We'll take care of them in the morning, and then if we want to investigate where we were supposed to deliver this package, just to see what's what and what may be going on, we can do that. Or if you all had other plans, I know I just rejoined you all, but Arlen just kind of shrugs.
Well, I need to sleep too, but tomorrow, if I can, if if they have the stuff, if they have it available, I'd like to go and buy some components. I need to do this kind of ritual to get Penny Sprinkle back after what happened. Costs money.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I think we can discuss future plans tomorrow after we've all had a chance to sleep.
Okay. Who wants to go back to the ship? Who wants to stay here for the night?
Oh, we'll just stay here.
Yeah, I think Garen wants to stay here.
There's room for all of us. I'll just stay here. But if one of us needs to go back to the ship, it's easiest for Arlen too.
Finn is good with either one, but Finn just wants to he just kind of wants to lay down. He likes the idea of going into the bed on the ship, but at the same point, I'd rather he's fine with not splitting.
There's an
everybody
inn
up, so.
in the town too. You
Oh
wanna
yeah, there's
go
an inn.
to the inn.
Yeah, there's an inn too.
The Fog and Frog, I think.
Oh yes.
Yes. Okay.
Uh,
So do you want to sleep here or at the inn?
If everyone's here, then if there's enough room for everyone here, I'll just stay with the party. Yeah.
Okay. So as the group of you get ready for the night and you kind of settle down, you find some makeshift little corners to get comfortable. You grab up a chair, maybe you push 2 chairs together to form a little cozy spot to settle. After about like an hour and a half of being near this item, I imagine that you are looking at the eye, maybe even fiddling with the box a little bit. It's kind of hard to ignore, especially with how it continues this disembodied whispering. You essentially will attune to the item,
Right.
but all you learn is that in order to properly attune to it, you must gouge out your own eye and put it in your empty eye socket.
Oh no.
Well,
What?
that's not gonna happen, mate. I'm not doing that. So
You close
Closing
the
the
box.
box.
Okay. Do you tell anybody else? It
Don't,
kind of just
don't
like
tell Arlen. She'll be like, I'll do it.
Right?
kind of just clicks in your mind after about an hour. And you can see everyone else is like kind of getting comfortable, ready to sleep. What do you do with this? What does Pole look like when this just clicks and you understand that's what needs to be done?
He's just he's shocked basically. He kind of genuinely thinks that most people he meets, things he meets, creatures he meets are going to be okay and nice, and this thing wanted him to gouge out his eye after he was only ever nice to it, and he's disappointed and shocked, and right now he's putting it away and he doesn't want to see it, but he is going to deal with it in the morning.
Okay. Close the box. Can I get a Constitution saving throw from you?
All right. Now, blessings, do I use that before? Is it like advantage, or is it something I use after?
You can use either way. It's fine.
I'll just use I have a blessing. I'll use it now, just to make sure. I know that's the wise thing to
Good thing.
do.
Your nat 1 turns into a 19 by you using that. Okay. So, as the night passes on, you fall asleep. You have a very bad dream. Very uncomfortable dream. There is a sense that this dream is unnatural and supernaturally influenced, perhaps by the proximity to the eye. What happens in your dream?
I probably dream that I'm just lying there on my back. And it's skitter, the eyeball rolls up and rolls on up his neck, and then rolls up his face, and you can feel it. And he's kind of probably, if anyone sees him while he's sleeping, he's probably going like this. But it just gets out of his way when he tries to put his hand on it. And then it starts just pushing and trying to get it into his eye until his real eyes popped right out, and this thing goes in, and then he probably wakes up screaming.
Yeah, you wake up screaming, and you're able to, fortunately, not have any kind of drawback from this nightmare. But a group of you all startle awake as Pole is screaming in the middle of the night.
Garen,
I got this.
yeah.
Standing there in my underwear with my shorts and dagger up.
Garen was sleeping with his back against one of the walls so he could see the door, and he's immediately on his feet, reaching for his bow.
What's going on, Paul?
Oh, I just had a bad dream. This eye thing, it's not good. It's not good. We gotta get rid of it. It's no good.
Take a look. Is the box still closed?
That's up to Pole. It doesn't open on its own.
No, it's closed. It wants me to pull my eye out and replace it with that.
Oh, that's tempting.
Do I
No,
know
it's
anything
not.
about that?
What?
No.
That?
What would you get for doing that?
I didn't ask any further.
KayBee, you're uncertain. You might have to try to attune to it to get more information. But if it basically comes with instructions, it's probably a very powerful magic item.
Okay, I guess I will take the time to. How far into the sleep cycle are we?
We'll say about 4 hours, so
Okay.
halfway there.
Gotcha. So I guess I'll take the time to cast the spell, Identify. Sit
Okay.
down and open the spell book and cast Identify. Take a few minutes to look at it. I guess first, I got a couple spell slots. I'll go ahead and detect magic. Well, we know it's magic because it's an eyeball that's moving around. So identify, cast the identify spell on this thing. And I'll post that in the chat so you can see that.
Okay, let's see. You choose one object you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is magic or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. Those created by a spell, you learn their spell. If you instead touch a... Yeah, okay.
So in this circumstance, I'm sitting on one stool. There's another stool in front of me. It's about a foot wide, and it's become my workbench. And I've got the eyeball there with a couple tools connected to it to basically like hold it in place, even if that's unnecessary. It just seems, the artificer way that you got to use your tools as much as possible. There's a lens, this big old lens I've got that allows me to look at it real close and scrutinize it as I poke it with a pokey tool and cast the magic. Runes dance over the item, and presumably it will inform me of what this is.
Okay. This thing is so ancient, it doesn't have a name. However, you learn that to properly attune to it in order to control it, you must replace one of your own eyeballs with it. It will essentially just sock it in and magically seal itself there. You learn that once it's there, it will stay there until you die. If you try to remove it, you will die. It essentially will be very permanent. Go ahead and roll me a d3. 1d3.
Okay.
1. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a 1d100. Okay. You will learn that while you're attuned to this artifact, you can use an action to cast a 3rd level spell from it. After you cast a spell, roll a d6. On a roll of 1 to 5, you can't cast it again until next dawn.
So it's like a bonus casting of the spell?
It will be an action. An action to cast a 3rd level spell. And essentially it has a recharge ability. So if you roll a d6 and you get a 6, you can still cast it as many times until you don't roll a 6 again.
Oh, so basically it's like a free spell slot that might be reusable multiple times.
It will have a spell. You are not able to identify what spell is in it.
Okay, so it has a spell in it.
Yeah. 3rd level spell.
Gotcha.
Well, that's interesting.
And anybody who's awake, hopefully not everybody woke up, but anybody who's awake and paying attention, I kind of break it down. And I probably use long form, so it takes me minutes to explain what took you a few seconds to explain. Do I get any? I think the identify spell tells you the school of magic.
I think that's detect magic.
You're right. So I would then commit using a spell slot to detect magic because I really want to get a sense of the power of the magic. If it is intense, you use the word artifact. I don't know if it is something truly that powerful, but also the school of magic. Because if it's like necromancy, I'll be like, oh wow. But if it's like enchantment, it's like, that's curious.
So
Someone can detect evil on it, maybe. That would be better.
So you begin to cast detect magic, and what does it look like to KayBee when you perceive the most powerful magic item you've ever seen?
I'm sure it would probably be blinding. I think in general for the detect magic, you get a strong sense of any magic around you within the area. You see everything is glowy, and my friend's got a new magic sword, cool, and that kind of thing. So I would imagine if it's something that powerful, it would be intense and overwhelming to the point of making KayBee go like, oh, whoa, no.
Yeah.
This is really, really strong. This is something powerful.
Do I get a sense of the school of magic?
Is it scary?
So it's an interesting question, isn't it? What school of magic is a magic item, right? Arguably, say it's enchantment. Could it be something more? Possible. This thing is really old. Maybe, conceptually even older than the concept of schools of magic. I don't know. Maybe. It's a muddled answer.
What? Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, is this thing evil?
I don't know. It's really really old, and I can't really tell, but it's really powerful. And you can, and of course I explain it all again in long form. It takes me another 4 minutes to explain it again, and I could just talk nonstop, and nobody can stop me from talking.
Well, I don't like it.
It's kind of exciting.
That sounds incredibly useful, potentially.
It does.
I still say it's unsettling.
It kind of makes you want to gouge your eye out.
No, it doesn't. Does it really? No, it doesn't. Really, KayBee? No.
It's okay for us to admit that we're a bit tempted. Some of us, perhaps.
I feel really tempted. Yeah, I'm kind of tempted.
For our viewers, KayBee just rolled a wisdom save and rolled a 12. I just continues wriggling around every time someone talks, just looks at you. This golden
It
pupil.
kind of looks like you need a purpose.
I closed the box and I put it in my bag.
Okay.
No. No. No.
I-
No.
What if I detect evil and good on it in the morning just to see?
All right. I think that's fair. Anyone want to make a wager?
No. Not at all.
As you close the box, a silence washes over the room, and you are all just kind of
I try to sleep.
tired.
Just so excited. How can you sleep when you're so excited?
And I'm rolled up in my blanket in the corner, and it's like,
the most powerful magic.
remainder.
Paul doesn't sleep.
Remainder of the night passes. Paul, roll me another Constitution save if you stay awake.
I'm going to use the blessing again.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Manage to will yourself through it. You will not have a point of exhaustion here, because you basically had half sleep anyway, and you're running on about 4 hours of sleep. In the morning, Paul, you are the first to hear it. You hear the sound of wings fluttering near a window. A bird has landed on the windowsill.
Oh, I'll go look.
It's Virgil. Seagull.
Hey, Virgil. How you doing?
What noise do seagulls make? Yeah, it just goes quah.
It's almost like a whistle, yeah.
Okay.
Or they go, mine, mine, mine.
There are loud seagull noises on the other side of the glass there, perhaps even stirring other people. Yep, you open it and Virgil kind of hops in, looks up at you.
Virgil
what's
was.
happening?
Oh, go for it.
No, I'm just saying, what's happening? Arlen's right over there. If she's still sleeping.
We'll say she's still sleeping. Yeah.
Mhm. You see that Virgil looks appreciatively over to Arlen, like does kind of like a curtsy, like a bit of a bow, kind of pulling out their wings, and then looks to you and squawks again, almost expectantly.
Well, I'll start speaking seagull.
Okay.
What you
Uh,
got to say?
Virgil will go on to tell you, oh good. About time that you cast your magic. Well, I have some news for you. As it seems that the town here has some manner of renown for you. Perhaps you were the best folk for this job. I followed you out here to Uskarn. I was hoping that perhaps you might finish what my master was unable to
What was that?
seek out the pit of hatred, from whence the undead come.
Oh, well, seek it out. What did he want to do with it?
Well, to destroy it, of course.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good then. Yeah. Just wasn't sure.
You see him like proudly puffing up his chest feathers, his beak held up high. He's a really fucked up looking like seagull. Like he's got like a chipped beak, he's got graying feathers, some of which are like falling out and molting. He's very old.
Well, thanks, Virgil. Yeah, I'll talk to me mates about it. I bet we will want to do that. It sounds like a good idea. Get rid of this undead thing. Pit of hate?
Hatred. Yes.
Pit of hatred. All right. That sounds very, very bad. We're gonna try and deal with that. Potentially some other very, very bad things. Yeah. Well, thanks for the message. You're gonna wait around for a reply, or do you need to be going?
As you say that, you see Virgil essentially kind of like settle down the way that birds do. You see his legs disappear into his feathery body as he begins to like roost right there at the windowsill, just waiting and watching.
All right. That's good.
Yeah, for everyone else, you've been hearing all these squawking and whistling of Pole talking to this seagull.
I wake up. I grab like my spell book or whatever. No, I think clerics pray. And so start kind of like praying to like reassemble her spells a bit, but we'll make a comment to the side of like anything interesting.
Whoa, yeah, your friend Virgil came by. It's right there, roosting over here. Didn't want to wake you, but I guess we did.
That's fine. Good morning.
Squaw!
Anything of note? Well, yeah, Virgil says, oh, by the way, Virgil, she says, good morning. Yeah,
see
Virgil
Virgil
says...
roll his eyes.
Oh, yeah, you can understand. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Virgil says that there's like his master was trying to find a thing called a pit of hatred, and the pit of hatred is the thing what's causing all the undead to come out.
Oh.
And he wants to destroy it, and he's wondering if we can do that as well and, finish the mission. I was like, well, I'll ask. I think it sounds like a good idea.
I agree. I think that is a worthwhile pursuit. I imagine the rest of the crew will agree, but as they wake up, they can give us their own thoughts and opinions as well.
All right.
I'd say Garen woke up during the squawking too. Is dumb. I definitely like the idea.
Right. Well, Virgil, we'll just wait for Finn and KayBee to get up, but we already got 3 of us wanting to do it. Probably gonna happen.
Whenever KayBee gets up, I think the first thing he's going to do is go check on our 2 patients just to make sure that they're okay, that they're not in crisis.
Yeah, they're the same as last night. One of them is very sick, but Vortanum has done as much as he can to make them comfortable. There's no risk of like they're gonna pass like today or anything like that. The other person is on their way to becoming sicker.
Okay. Seeing that, KB immediately goes into his morning ritual, kind of brushes back his hair. It's in disarray, but he goes into his morning ritual of spell preparation, which includes laying out all of his artificer tools and his armor and his weapons. He has to do things with them, certain preparations and his infusions and things. And he has a spell book out, and he's looking at spells, and it's very apparent. At other times, it's kind of casual thing, but today he's in a rush because he wants to update his spells. So he's kind of brushing his teeth absentmindedly while he's doing these things and preparing his spells, occasionally looking over to the patients kind of with a look of worry on his face.
You see Janor, the third and presumably the leader of the three survivors. She has woken too, and she's watching you. She's currently nursing a cup of tea that Vortanum has brought over, and she says to you, "Do you think that you will be able to help my companions?"
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I just need a little bit of time, and I'll be ready. Yeah, nothing else. Yeah, just relax and maybe I got some food in my pack here. I don't know if Vortanum had any food out or whatever, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she takes whatever you offer, and she looks over towards the window where Paul and Virgil are currently talking. And she says, "They mentioned of hatred. I'm not quite familiar with that, but I think I recognize that bird. I've seen it hanging around the wizard's tower, but it's been long abandoned for several years now."
You said something hatred?
A pit of hatred? Is that what your friend said?
I'm not sure. Somebody got a pit of hatred over there?
Yeah, he said the bit of hatred.
She said a wizard's tower.
Yes, she turns towards you, Paul, and she gestures towards the seagull. "I've seen that creature around. It would visit the Hermitage once in a while. It is believed to have been the pet of a former wizard that we had." At the word pet, you see Virgil roll his eyes again.
I think Virgil prefers the word familiar, and that's Virgil is this.
As you say
The
that, he
seagull in question.
proudly puffs up his chest and tries to look as regal as he can. "Quite. Yes, you are absolutely correct. The best familiar. By the way, you should mention that."
He considers himself to be the best familiar.
Sounds like he's got quite the personality.
You just
Oh,
see
yeah.
the woman just shrug, like, "I don't know, that's just a seagull."
Trust me, we've learned don't question pull when it comes to animals.
Yes, I understand. Arlen, as you're doing your preparations for the day, there is an unusual presence as you're going with your ritualistic preparations. What domain of cleric are you again?
Twilight.
Okay. How would you say does Twilight manifest in a comforting way for you?
I think the visual of kind of like a starry night.
Okay. No one else sees this. As the sunbeam kind of comes in through the open window where Virgil has made entrance, the sunbeam filters through, and where it comes in and touches you with warmth, there is a haze, almost like a fog, a smoke, and it slowly darkens. The room around you darkens in a way where you almost see pinpoints of starlight in this mist that surrounds you. No one else seems to notice this. You have drawn the Vizier card. As you're getting ready today, speaking to your god or gods, they're listening. And you can feel it. You get to ask one question and you'll get an answer.
No, I want to know about that eye. You know I want to know about that eye, Stella.
Okay. How do you pose this? What do you say? In your mind, out loud, however you like.
What is this eye we found's history?
Okay. Do you say that out loud?
In my little prayer.
Okay, in your prayer. Okay. So, stars twinkle in front of you, and it almost seems to read out visibly like text in a book. And you read a story about a demon prince that taught a very selfish man how to cheat death. And this man went on to commit terrible, terrible atrocities. And was so feared throughout many lands long, long ago that they forgot his name because they gave him a new one. He was known as the Undying King. Some might say that he was the Whispered One. Beyond that, stars tell you that this is one of the most foul and evil artifacts to exist on this plane. And it is extremely dangerous. But with it comes extreme power. God is curious what you're going to do with this. There's no judgment. There's no push or pull one way or the other. You do have their attention.
I think... Okay, before I answer this question, do I personally, have I heard of the Undying King / Whispered One? Do I know who that is?
You can roll a history check because your parents are famous adventurers. Maybe this might have come up at some point.
Thanks, Mommy and Daddy. 16.
16. I'm going to say 16 is not enough here.
Can I use my bless that was so lovingly given to me by my best friend, Zombie Fighter 89?
Absolutely. Go ahead and
Okay,
roll
great.
again. 19.
19?
Okay,
You can say no.
I'm gonna say no because for the timeline of this, I want this to have been long ass time ago.
Yeah, totally.
I've heard of evil wizards. They exist. This is just some big bad evil wizard.
I'm going to answer the gods. I don't know. I'll need to talk with my crew.
And with that, you blink and it's almost startling going from darkness back to light. And you see the room as everyone else sees it. Moment is gone.
Okay. Announcement, everyone.
Oh.
So I just received a wee bit of a vision from the gods, warning me about the eye and saying it is one of the most evil artifacts on the face of the planet, and it belonged to someone known as the Undying King / Whispered One, who made a deal with an evil demon a long, long time ago for eternal life. But they did say it was a very powerful artifact, but also a very evil one.
That's kind of scary.
Good thing you didn't stick it in your eye, KayBee.
Yeah, you're probably right. You sometimes are right, Paul.
So, are you saying you now agree with me that it's unsettling?
Yeah. It
I
looked
think
at
that's
me.
an understatement.
So with the names that Arlen mentioned, do I know
none
any
of you.
history?
Unfortunately, none of you
Not
know
enough
of
by
it.
rolling.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's ancient.
Very ancient.
All right, that's scary stuff.
What about our bird friend?
I'll ask him.
Familiar to a very strong wizard, maybe?
Hmm. Paul,
One
you.
thing seagulls know is eyeballs.
Oh, Virgil says, "Let me have a look."
All right. I'll open up the little box.
You see Virgil get uncomfortably close to this eyeball, kind of turning his head so that his eyeball is looking at it. They're almost touching, and the eyeball wriggles underneath him. Virgil pulls back. I would remember this one, but I don't know. It certainly does not belong to my master.
Well, that's good to know. All right. I snap it shut again.
So, Arlen,
We gotta
we're ready.
figure out how to get rid of this thing. So no
We're
one
ready to do
uses
this, Arlen.
Yes. So, okay, let's heal people really fast, and then we'll discuss the eye and what to do with it.
I know you'll make the right decision.
Aye, Captain.
There are 2 people sick, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll heal one. KayBee, can you heal the other?
Yep.
Cool.
So we have got this dueling magics going on.
Okay, what spells are you casting?
Lesser restoration.
Okay, perfect. I love that you both said it. I just imagine like both of you just like leaning
We gotta
over.
say it yeah, in our best anime voice. Lesser restoration.
Go.
Perfect. Yeah, so what does it look like when KayBee casts Lesser Restoration?
So KayBee is an artificer, and as you all know, artificers do mechanical kind of stuff. But KayBee's a little bit different since he's Fey. He's Fenadiri, or also known as Brownie. For him, most things are kind of a woodsy kind of mechanical. He integrates a lot of nature magic into what he's doing there. So in this particular case, it's kind of like, as he casts a spell, he is brewing a potion. He dumped out one of his sacks, his coin purse. He dumped the coins out on the stool, and his coins are sitting there in a pile. And he shook the lint out of it, and he's pouring these as he casts a spell. He's putting ingredients into his cloth coin purse, and it's like, dude, he just put water in there. How is it staying in there? But it's magic, right? So as he prepares this concoction in his cloth coin purse, there's fumes coming off of it. There's glows and sparkles coming off of it, and all kinds of different things are going into this. And occasionally he'll grab a screwdriver and he'll swirl around in there, smell it. Ooh. And then eventually when it's ready, there's this like yellow glow that comes out of it. It's like a beam of light coming out of the top of it, and it's all kind of frothing. And he's trying to hold it together.
Are you ready for this? You have to finish it all in one continuous gulp, gulp, gulp.
The dwarven man looks up at you and looks kind of bleary-eyed and...
It's gonna be okay.
All right.
Try to help him as he drinks it out of the pouch.
Yeah, as you do, he drinks it very carefully, very slowly, and he's kind of gripping your arm, almost as if like trying to seek reassurance, squeezing it
right here.
You can see almost immediately the effects taking place. You can see the blue rot just literally washing away, sort of receding into their skin and all trace of it disappearing. All Arlen, as KayBee's doing that, what does your lesser restoration look like?
I think Arlen kneels down next to this person and simply like kind of closes their eyes with their hand, puts their fingers on their forehead, and Arlen's eyes glow a dull kind of twilight as this magical energy begins emitting from her. And then the disease starts to fade away.
The individual that you're taking care of, Barrett, he is very, very sick. He's completely unconscious. By the time that you cast your spell and it finishes, you see all the grotesque signs of the blue rot beginning to recede, and he begins to breathe more comfortably. He doesn't wake, he's still sleeping. You can tell that immediately he is completely resolved of any sign of the disease. It's gone.
All right, so the eye. And Arlen stands up and turns around. This is concerning, of course, and we need to
Yes.
make sure that it doesn't reach whoever it was intended for.
I
But
agree.
I'm also very interested in the person you made this deal with, Finn, and what they were doing with it, what they intended, where'd they get it from, what they know. So perhaps we go interrogate him.
I'll say that as you guys walked into the room, that's when Finn woke up. I think he's been asleep this whole time. I think he woke up a little bit when Pull was freaking out, but kind of noticing that it seemed to be more of what he could perceive in his very awake state, like very sleepy awake state, as possibly a nightmare or something. It didn't look like there was a threat going on in the room. He's kind of passed out. And I think even the squawking didn't wake him, but I think Finn probably passed out right near where the door is, where everyone laid down. Because, his immediate thought was, when he got up to check on them. So as he hears KayBee and Arlen run into the room, I think he kind of wakes up. So he's kind of like in there, kind of like watching in the background. And then that's when Arlen turns around and says, "Okay, the eye." And then that's when we go face to face with it.
Hmm.
And I'll say, yeah, I was desperate. I'm sorry, but yeah, we should give the person a talk, I guess. But like I said, if we're gonna start something, you guys better help me back up because, I don't think they're gonna be too happy with me saying that. Yeah, by the way, we opened your package and we know what it is.
That's fine.
Oh.
We can take care of them.
And then, are we leaving right this second or?
Hmm.
To go confront them, or
When were they expecting you to have delivered the package and be back?
they were expecting me to deliver the package this morning.
And where were you supposed to deliver it?
The player doesn't remember the name, but
Yeah,
Finn would
so-
remember the name.
Yeah, Finn pulls out a map and shows that there is a cove accessible by boat, by rowboat, about like 2 hours north, basically. So Finn has a map, has it marked, and it's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And Finn would also tell you that he got this from Feldrin Kane, the bailiff.
The name of the bailiff, yep. That gave me this. So, is the plan to go to the cove, or is the plan to go to the bailiff?
Well, we have 3 options right now. We have those 2, and we also have investigating this hole of hatred, whatever it was called.
I agree.
As soon as you say that, Virgil like stands up, looks ready to go.
Virgil seems to prefer that option.
What is this?
It's where all of those undead were coming from. Virgil's master was trying to take care of the situation before he passed. and Virgil would like us to see it through.
That's where the hold is. Okay. Finn will you can kind of see anyone who's kind of looking at him. You can kind of see his eyes are still kind of puffy, almost like he fell asleep crying. And he kind of just wipes his eyes a little bit and goes, "My destiny lies there, but wherever you guys want to go first, we can go first."
Okay, so I think this comes down to what is more urgent, what has a bit more of a time limit, perhaps. Arlen has dealt with cursed and evil items a few different times throughout this
Yes.
campaign.
And
Um,
normally Arlen's way of dealing with it is to embrace it, but
yeah,
Yep.
well,
Yes.
yes. So, she's going to say evil items and cursed items tend to try to communicate with the people around it. Did anyone hear anything since we've opened that box?
I did. It makes whispering sounds. It sounds nasty, but it doesn't make any real words.
All right, so that's not too pressing. If we deal with the hatred hole first, we need to find a way to hide this box.
We have to hide it on the ship. I mean, really,
And-
it's dangerous.
yeah.
I don't understand why somebody would give us something like that to take somewhere. That's
I don't think so. I think I got a better idea, courtesy of my patron. I have a sack that's an extra dimensional space. I put it in there, and it won't communicate with nobody.
Will it still live?
I don't think it's alive. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But you know you're
If
right.
it dies, great.
True.
Okay,
But
well
you
then
know-
Paul.
I guess it doesn't matter.
But-
You're right though, Paul, because inside of your haversack, it'll be technically on a different plane of existence.
True. I guess the only other question I'd have would be, if we go to the Horde, which is what I want to do, I most want to do this. Do you think the bailiff will come looking after I don't deliver anything, or there's no word that anything's been delivered?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think, oh, definitely. Because if the
So,
person you were supposed to deliver it to doesn't receive it this morning, they will likely make it known.
so is there a bigger time limit on that than there is the Horde? Because I
The
don't think
Horde
there's
is-
anyone else on the island right now. So,
No.
but it would be easier to get the Horde during the day because they're all resting. Very
Yes.
conflicting.
And if everyone on the island is dead, they may not go back to it.
But
They
you
may
know,
find other targets.
if we leave here in our little boat, we can go back to our ship and use our ship to go chase the horde.
Aye.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yes. Mhm.
Also, if we don't deliver, I mean, we don't deliver this thing to whoever wants it, and they try and seek us out, then we don't have to waste our time trying to seek them out.
True, they will come to us eventually.
Mhm.
Or for me,
And-
more specific.
And another question, is it out of the way to go to the delivery location before going to the Hole of Hatred?
That I don't. He looks at the map. Would it be on the map?
Yeah, because I think we did get a general location of the Hole of Hatred.
You did from the wizard's journal.
Yep.
Uh,
So
and-
Garen would pull that out.
Yeah, you pull it out. You flip through it. Our worst fears are confirmed. Virgil has brought word of disaster. A war galley loaded fully with pirates approaches from the southwest. It flies the flag of the raiders and bears the name of the cursed ship Camerot. We must prepare what feeble defense we can muster. Woe to the folk of the coast at the approach of this bloody tide. And then goes on to talk about how the Storm Lord answered their prayers, a furious storm blew in, and that the wizard believes that the vessel went down near the Pit of Hatred, an ill-starred undersea chasm 2 miles south of Firewatch Isle. So with that, there's like a few pages that have specific coordinates. The coordinates don't mean anything to any of you, but they would mean something to your shipwright and people on your ship who are professional navigators.
Right.
But also, like, Virgil comes up and starts pecking right where the coordinates are and squaws to you, Pole. Virgil says, I can lead you directly to it if you need me to.
All right, Virgil says he could just lead us right there. No need for maps. He knows where it is.
All right, so
Okay.
that's south, and the drop-off location was north.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite directions.
Hmm.
I
Oh, it
dare them to
is.
come at us.
Okay. Well, then my vote is the Hole of Hatred. I think that's the bigger risk.
All right, taking votes.
Pit of Hatred. Let's get it done.
Pit of Hatred, Pit of Hatred,
You got my vote, Captain.
Pit of Hatred. Fen.
Grabs his great club and stares
mean-
at
I mean, Lady Arlen.
it.
Please, there's no need.
Spread the word.
Finn looks at his great club and looks at it longingly, puts it over his shoulder, and he says, "Full of hatred."
All right, let's go kill some undead.
Right before we go, is the owner of the bookstore? Was this a bookstore or a library? I forget.
Bookstore.
Bookstore.
Okay, is the owner of the bookstore still around?
Yeah, he's not in the study, but as soon as you like step out of the study into the main store, he's there.
Okay. I'm going to say, get everything prepared. I want to talk to him really quick, and then I'll be right out. And he's gonna walk over to God, do you think I'd remember names at this point?
It's Vortanim.
Vortanim. I apologize.
It's okay. Rin Carson, what can I do for you?
I want to once again thank you for your hospitality over the past day or so with everything. It's been greatly appreciated. Thank you for letting us be able to help cure these people of this horrible disease. I have a request, if I may. I want to buy some books from you. It's the least I can do, and I've been looking for some books anyway.
Oh, well, that is very kind of you. I'm more than happy to just give you whatever you like. You and your companions have been more than a boon to our humble village. Because of you, your kindness will be remembered. Your kindness is tangible, and it has fed people here.
I appreciate it. So we can either consider this a transaction of me giving you gold for your books or a donation. Either one I'm good with. You're getting something out of this.
If you so insist, then very
I
well.
so insist. I would like a couple. Like we're running out the door. We'll probably be back, so I can buy more. But I would like at least 2 or 3 books that you have on zombies, undead,
Right.
and such. One book on what type of dragon is Bims again?
A pseudo dragon.
Pseudo dragon. Any books that you have on history and such of pseudo dragons, if you have any of those.
All right.
Yes, KB. Yes, KB.
Can I get a book on giants?
Yes, you can. Can we also get a book on giants, please?
Thank you.
Yes, I can look through our repertoire and see what I can find. It might take me some time.
We gotta still prepare and get everything ready to go for us to leave here anyway, but I want to give a little bit of time so you're not rushing, but also, yeah.
Very good.
Hey, KB, isn't everyone a giant to you?
Oh, you be quiet now. Just you wait.
Okay. You are all deciding to head towards the pit of hatred. Are there any specific preparations you want to do? The books will be given to you, Finn, as soon as he gets them. Anything else?
No, he'll just uh because I didn't get completely scammed and I still have gold now. I'm going to leave. I'll do the math in a minute, but I'm gonna leave. Let's say 12. Yeah, we'll do 12. 12 gold on
Okay.
on the table there for him.
All right. I remember Paul mentioning wanting to get components. Do you want to go
Yeah.
by yourself?
I'll go with Paul.
No, buddy system. Thing is
Yeah, buddy
dangerous around
system.
here.
Okay.
KB's always looking for spices, spell components, all that kind of rock.
Then Finn will probably stay behind for the books and all that, but he'll give KayBee whatever amount of money we gotta decide later. I'll take it away as well. But I'll let him know that I would like, a healing potion or two or whatever.
Oh, okay. I'll see what I can find.
Mhm.
Don't worry
Thank
about
you.
the money. I got money.
Okay, well then that's fine.
So Paul and KayBee will leave. Garen, is there anything you want to do? You're muted.
Helps if I unmute before I try talking, right? So Garen will heed Pole's advice and stay with Finn to make certain that, we don't get too separated, buddy system and all that jazz.
Okay. And Arlen, where do you want to go? You want to stay?
Yeah, I don't think Arlen has any plans for particular prep.
Okay.
So she'll just hang and wait for everybody.
Okay. Paul and KayBee, you head out into Uskarn. Uskarn is very small. So you go to the general store and pickings are very slim here. There aren't very many choices. You ask about a healing potion, and the merchant that runs the shop will say, "Oh, you'll have to ask the bailiff. Most of the high-priced items and things of value go through the docks and essentially have a dock tax. So you won't be able to find any of that here."
Okay. Thank you.
So as we walk away from that shop, kind of talking to Paul.
Maybe we just have to scrounge the underbrush and stuff a little bit. What kind of stuff are you looking for?
Well, it's kind of, stuff what pixies like, right? You bring them like honeysuckle and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So I
Little bits
bet
of
you we look around, we
silver
can
dust.
find some stuff. And maybe if we go to some of the small shops, people don't know what you might use that for. So you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. I need to get some charcoal and some sand, special sand. I gotta call back a friend, before we
I
go.
see.
I imagine you're probably gonna call back your little sprite friend, right?
Yeah, Penny Sprinkle. She got whacked in that last fight up there. But she'll be back. I now know that. It's not nearly as distressing.
Yeah, that just takes a little bit.
So I guess we'll see what other shops around and scrounge, but also kind of like maybe even wander the edge of the village and look at the underbrush. If I have to use my sleuthing nature abilities to find the right bush to look under, look for
Yeah.
some of these special ingredients and things that might meet Pole's requirement.
Okay. Let me get a nature check from one of you and then an investigation check from another person.
I'll do investigation or
We help
well,
each other too.
I'm not real good at nature. But yeah, I'll help you.
I'll help you and you help me. Go ahead.
Fine.
So
Full set advantage.
I'll do investigation.
Okay.
24.
It's a nat 20 for Paul's investigation. Let me get a nature from KayBee. at advantage. 25. Okay. Dirty 25. All right. So the both of you kind of look around and try to make do with what you can. Paul, you find a shop that has a bunch of interesting buttons made out of different things. You find a few like kind of quirky knickknacks of that kind. Small things that some people might consider junk, but essentially could be interesting for fae folk or pixies. And KayBee, you help set out looking at the like local flora, and you find a few wildflowers, you find a few wild berries, but nothing like inherently magical.
Yeah, I don't expect that we're necessarily going to be making potion healing, but I do appreciate if, and a little bit of this might be conjecture, that Paul is looking for things that are essential for bringing his familiar back. So things that are potentially fey in nature, there's certain flowers that elves and Fenadiri pay attention to. Is like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right
With
there.
that 25, especially the two of you working together, you're able to identify some wildflowers that are particularly
Ooh, Penny
favored.
loves that.
Yeah, I know. I like that too. I better get extra.
One other thing that Paul is going to get while he's shopping is a sack. He's going to take everything out of his haversack except for that eye thing and put it in the sack, so none of his stuff gets touched by that eyeball.
Okay, excellent.
And
Yeah, that
you
doesn't
see all the
take a
junk
lot.
that he's got. It's ridiculous.
There's like a single shoe. There's like half of
There's like a
hat.
mechanical canary pay in
Is
a
it Finn's right
cage.
shoe?
He's got that mirror. He's got that the astral mirror. He's got the abs of
that
a
was-
giant.
That was such a
He's got-
throwback. I forgot about, we had this whole plot arc about Finn missing a
Yep.
shoe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Your
how we
shoes
got,
don't match.
That's right. You
No.
have a replacement shoe.
Yeah, made by KayBee. Yeah, that's why we had I'm so bad with names today. I apologize. Elsa.
Ella.
Ella. That's why we have Ella with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you transfer all this stuff to your sack inside of your haversack. And you essentially have everything you need to try to bring back Penny.
Great. Then I'll get together with KayBee, and we need to find a little clearing, in the woods or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll do
And
the
then we have
ritual to summon her.
dueling find familiar spells.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Paul and KayBee will be gone for about maybe like 3 hours. About 3 hours pass, and the two of you successfully bring back your familiars. If there's a gold cost, make sure you remove that from your inventory. Arlen, Garen, and Finn, 3 hours have passed. Do you do anything in particular? You'll see that Vortanum essentially will serve like lunch, brings some soup around. There are some customers that come and go from the shop. The three survivors, they are doing much better. They wake, they rise, they begin to eat, and they essentially just stay in the study for now to regain their strength. Especially because they can't go back to the Hermitage.
I think Finn will sit with them, I think, and eat some food and just kind of ask general, like, how are you doing, whatever the case, and then kind of ask if like how they, like, I guess he's kind of curious on exactly how they contracted it. If they're okay with me asking that, if they're not, like, if they're still kind of freaked out by it, it'll be like, I can ask later, it's not a big deal. But
Oh, they're pretty upfront about it. They say that it came from the undead.
okay.
Like, they managed to escape with very few wounds, and the wounds turned into blue rot.
Okay. So basically, it was like I'm assuming they didn't bite you, so because that would usually cause you to turn. Did they just scratch at you, or did they like?
So they say they don't know anything.
They don't. Okay.
They basically got hurt. Uh,
Hmm.
you go ahead and roll me a history or nature check here, Finn, at advantage.
Oh, I'm good on both. Let's try history.
Okay.
11.
11. You're not 100% sure if biting people turns them into zombies.
Okay.
Yeah, and they don't have bite marks on them or anything like that.
Okay. So I guess Finn will kind of like rethink and maybe go, well, maybe it isn't biting, maybe it's something else. I don't remember. But okay. I mean, none of you turned, so that's good. I'm glad you guys are feeling better. Where are you guys originally from? Is it the island?
So they hold on.
Tell us your rich and plentiful backstories.
So the dwarf Morley, he kind of shies away from this and busies himself with eating. Right? He deliberately doesn't answer your question. He's like, "Oh, this is so good. Can I get seconds? I'm so hungry." Janor, the woman, she says that she basically was an orphan and that she moved around a lot, and she gives you backstory, and none of it's really very interesting. The most interesting thing is that she decided to become a cleric of Procan, and eventually it led her to getting assigned to work at the Hermitage. She says that she has spent some time in Saltmarsh before, and she kind of like just has floated around a bit. Barrett, the one that was very, very sick, he says that he was at the Hermitage for several years and did some pilgrimage stuff. Also, uninteresting backstory.
Major point, I suppose, on this whole thing.
Yeah, they're more nondescript than Garen.
More or less.
Yeah, but Garen, you're there. You also pick up that Morley specifically avoided the question.
Yeah.
I don't think Finn is trying to pry too much in. Like, he sees that, he's not going to make them any more uncomfy. Well, I guess my major point is, we're going to go on this little adventure to destroy this sort of, like, horde where the zombies are. And I'm not asking you to go for that, but, we are eventually heading back to Saltmarsh. Unless you're good here, I just wanted to offer you sort of a safe and secure transportation to wherever you might be wanting to go. If Saltmarsh is a place you guys can go and we can finger stuff, or if you're good here, like the people here have been wonderful to us, so this is also a very nice place.
At the offer of this, Morley, the one that didn't answer, says, "I would very much like to go to Saltmarsh. This is an excellent idea." Janor goes to say, "I've been to Saltmarsh before. They actually have a temple to Procan there. Perhaps we can continue our work, brothers." And she looks over at the two. Barrett looks really sick still. Like, you know, he's recovering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he just kind of nods. He doesn't seem entirely convinced either way. Morley seems super down.
Well, considering it seems to make them happy, I'm gonna go, okay, well then, Garen, do you, I know we're not going right away. Do you think there'd be enough room on our ship for them to be there for a little bit?
You have a very big ship.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm not sure how many rooms are open, but yeah, we might be able to find a spot for them.
Okay. Well, given combinations, the best we can, you guys can be more than happy to be on our ship if you'd like, or stay in town or whatever. But we'd be more than happy to take you back to Saltmarsh if you'd prefer. I wanna help you out as much as I can to get you guys back on a more positive track.
Yes, we would very much appreciate passage to Saltmarsh.
Well, our boat will be taking a detour to the ship that we're going to get rid of the zombies. Like I said, you can stay on the ship.
As you
but-
say that, they kind of look at each other and whisper. They seem very hesitant to head out towards the zombies. They don't want to do that.
Well, I suppose we'll be coming back this way because we have to come back this way to get back to Saltmarsh anyway. So, stay in town until we're back, I guess, if you prefer.
Yes, we can absolutely do that.
Okay.
As you're kind of like having this conversation, Virgil is squawking and trying to get y'all's attention, but none of you can speak. I was supposed to say pigeon. Seagull.
I
Actually,
think Garen would look at him, cock his head. What do you want? I don't understand squawk.
Squawk!
so I actually do have speak with animals.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just I've been letting Paul do all of it because he seems to be enjoying it a lot.
Okay, okay. So, when
I can
what does it
burn
look
us-
like when you do speak with animals?
So, I actually had not really thought about this until today because I'm like, maybe I'll do something so that Virgil knows that he can talk to me as well in case he can't get a hold of Paul. I've been doing a lot of stuff with like glitter and shit, so I'm just gonna continue the theme. So what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of gonna magically, somehow the best I can, do like kind of throw the glitter in the air, and depending on what kind of animal I'm trying to speak to, it'll take the shape of that. It'll
Okay.
be poorly drawn. It'd be like someone who doesn't really know how to draw very well, but like it's gonna kind of look like the best of a seagull one can make that's trying to learn how to draw a seagull. So
Okay.
it'll kind of come up and disappear right in front of the seagull, and then I'll start to speak and like, you know, as
Okay.
I throw it in the air, I can start to speak it.
Yeah, so you hear once you cast a spell, Virgil saying, "You should be aware that this is out in the middle of the ocean. You will have to equip yourselves with means in order to go underneath the water for extended periods of time."
I believe KayBee said he had a way to handle that.
So, sorry, that's Virgil.
Oh yeah,
Squawing.
Garen wouldn't have
Yeah.
known that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Garen
I
and
heard that.
Arlen, you hear squaw, 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 squaw.
Squaw indeed, squaw, yes. No, so Finn will go, he'll look directly at Arlen because he remembers the last time we were supposed to go underwater. And go, well, it is underwater, so we're gonna need to learn how to breathe underwater again. But yes, we're gonna have to, I think,
I believe
Didn't Kay-
KayBee said he had a way to handle that.
okay.
And as
cool,
soon as
yeah.
you say that, that's when KayBee and Pole arrive with Friend and Penny Sprinkles.
The gang's all back. I love seeing the both of you, both Friend and Penny Sprinkle back. It's great. KayBee,
Indeed.
Yeah.
we're gonna need to learn how to breathe underwater.
Okay.
Mhm.
Done.
Virgil over here, which by the way, Paul, I don't ever want to try and steal your thunder, but if any time you need, I can also speak with animals. So I was just having a bit of a chat here with Virgil as well.
Oh, that's
Um,
great. Actually, it's fun to have like a group session instead of just a dialogue all the time.
Well, I'll join in on the group sessions from now on. but he basically said that we have to prepare ourselves because of the fact that it's going to be underwater, and so we should have everything ready and set to go.
Virgil, friend, Virgil, Penny Sprinkles, Penny, this is Virgil.
Yes.
Virgil ignores everything you just said.
Do any of you need other weapons that work better underwater? I'll be fine. I have magic.
Yeah, you know,
I have
Oh.
a hand
trident,
axe.
dagger, spear, those are choice.
I
Penny's
guess
got a little sword.
Didn't the short bow work just reduced range?
I think it's disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, here I'll bring out the handout.
My great club would also probably be.
So
disadvantage.
underwater combat. When you make a melee weapon attack, if you don't have a swim speed, either natural or granted by magic, you have disadvantage on your attack roll unless it's a dagger, javelin, short sword, spear, or trident. Ranged weapon attacks automatically miss a target beyond the normal range. Even against normal range, you get disadvantage unless it's a crossbow, a net, or a weapon that's thrown like a javelin.
Throw my axe theoretically, although that'd be a 1.
Can just imagine an
Oh.
axe being thrown underwater.
Yeah.
Also,
Maybe-
resistance to fire damage, so fire spells not so good.
True.
Right.
Should I try to get some kind of spear or
Probably be
knife of-
helpful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think
He'll look back at KayBee and pull. When you guys were out, do you know if they had any places where you could find like a spear or a sword or some kind of
There-
stabby
there was
weapon?
Not
Very-
here.
only very little stuff. I'm sorry, I couldn't get any potions of healing.
That's fine.
I got one.
they
You
told
can
us
have
to go
this
to the
one.
dock.
Oh, okay. And Finn will take. Oh, I'm just more worried about with dealing with zombies. We might need something like this. So, trying to get as many as we can. Well then, I'll try my best, but I may not be as useful under the water with the zombies, I guess.
All right.
How far is it? Is this going to be like a week? Or are we going to be there right away or what?
It's
It-
south of us.
It is. I think it was 2 hours south. Let me
Mhm.
double
Wait.
check.
oh
All right.
sorry.
Uh. Two miles south of Firewatch Island. Took you about 3 hours to get to Firewatch Island. So, probably like 4 or 5 hours.
I think Garen will want to get a crossbow before we head out. And some bolts.
So, from the general vibe check, Uskarn is a very small village, and Pol and KayBee, because you were out looking, you would be able to remember what you saw, and all weapons are definitely like handled through the bailiff.
Yep, anything and everything.
I'm not going back
Because-
to the bailiff.
Because they're gonna tax it
Right.
500%. But you
Hmm.
know, I remind folks that we have miscellaneous equipment in the ship. I
Right.
think
Do we-
we've
oh,
got
we
a
do,
list
do
of
we?
gear.
Yeah, so he'll probably be able to get a crossbow from there.
Mhm.
There's 3 longbows, 2 long swords. There's weapons there. Look in the
Oh.
loot log.
I'm just.
Oh, yeah.
Well, crap. If we got it in storage, I might just steal me a thing.
There's potions of healing in the loot log too.
Oh, neat. Cool.
In fact, those should be with us when we're adventuring rather than in the loot bin.
Loot low. There it is. I can find it. Yeah, I might take one of the long swords then, just to help with the stabby.
They're no good underwater. You need a
Oh.
short sword.
Oh, well, never mind.
Is there anything else that you want to do in Uskarn?
Did we get our books?
Yes, I actually rolled for it. Fortunately, Ortanum had, where'd my roll go? Had everything, there it is. I rolled a 19, a 17, a 20, and a 15. So you get one of each. You get a book about zombies, a book about undead in general, a book about pseudo-dragons, and a book about giants.
I start studying.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, he'll hand off the book to KayBee, and he'll throw the other books in his pocket, and then he'll wait till we get on the ship to start looking at the different books.
Hulk edition 25.
So is the intention of the party to go take the rowboat to the Sea Lily and then take the Sea Lily to the Pit of Hatred? Or do you want to just go there by rowboat?
I think Sea Lily.
Thanks, Sea Lily.
See, Lily.
Okay, so it takes about an hour and a half to get to the Sea Lily. When you return to the Sea Lily, you are first greeted by Tully.
Hey, mate, how's it going?
Hey, Paul. You missed out on some really, really good partying.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. There's been a lot of weird shit happening where I was. But, that's adventuring for you. I made some new friends. I'll show them. I'll show them everybody. We've got this is Virgil. This is Swarmy over here and there. And yeah, I won't bother mentioning Igor. Leave
Okay.
that alone.
When you introduce Virgil to Tully, the two of them lock eyes and they begin to have a staring contest. And very quickly, it is Tully who wins. Tully's like, yeah, thought so. Undefeated champion still. And essentially, you're greeted on the ship. Arlen Imloth comes up to you and says, nothing much to report, Captain. The crew is satisfied, and we actually managed to catch some fish while you were gone.
Oh, that's good. Glad to hear. Thank you for looking after everything.
Of course, we might even be able to sell some of it next time we hit a dock.
Well, we are going to go not to a dock. We're going to a hull of hatred. And we're going to deal with that really fast.
All right. And she'll begin to shout out orders to tell everyone, hoist the sails. No, lower the sails. Pull the ropes. Prepare the ship. Imloth sounds way better than Stella does. Definitely knows boat things. And there's like a ding ding, and then people begin to move about the ship. Your crew begin to file out of the mess hall and are preparing the Sea Lily for a voyage.
I think when Finn finally gets on the boat and settled and whatever, I think he immediately is gonna go to his bed, his room, sort of put away some of the books, sort of organize some stuff, but mostly just kind of wants to like have a moment to himself, more or less, and also and obviously check on Bims, make sure Bims is okay.
Yeah, Bims is fine. You see that Malaya has let out, put down a big platter of food for Bims, and Bims is literally curled up in the food, taking a nap.
Finn hasn't smiled a lot lately, so when he looks down at Bims, he gives a good smile about it. And so he closes his door. He'll basically tell everyone that he's in his room, so if you need anything, knock. But he's gonna lay down. He's gonna kind of like grab like some books, kind of organize what his books are, pull out the pseudo dragon book, and he's gonna lay in bed, start reading it.
Okay. You'll find that the book is a pretty basic understanding. It's like your Pseudo Dragon 101. How to take care of your tiny dragon familiar. And dragon's like in quotation marks. So it'll just be some basic stuff, and it'll be a pretty easy read. It'll take a few hours to chew through that. What does everyone else do on the ship as you begin to make your way towards the pit of hatred?
Garen would drop his gear off in his quarters, and then he'd pull out the book that he had grabbed from the Hermitage for Ella. Probably stop by to visit Barnacus, give him some attention before bringing the book to her. Expecting her to be asleep.
Yeah, she is currently sleeping, but you discover that Barnacus has been an absolute menace while you've been gone. In fact, it's been so bad that where's your crew? Simona, the boatswain, has formal complaints for you. And essentially says that Barnacus has done significant damage to the ship. It's all been repaired, but this is a problem. Look, I don't think that this baby owlbear really has a place on this ship. I understand that you want to be close to it. We need proper adjustments, proper space. It's not.
So,
It's
what
not
do you recommend?
comfortable. Maybe converting some of the storage deck into an actual chamber to house an animal like this.
Okay.
It's not going to be a
Okay,
small
well.
project or a cheap one, and just essentially going to have the ship out of commission for a month, maybe. But I think it's something to consider if you want to do this long term. I imagine Barnacus isn't happy being confined to a small room while you're gone.
Probably not. You're right.
Also, I regret to inform you, you have absolutely 0 pillows and blankets left. They are all ribbons.
I suppose I should have expected that.
Yeah.
All right. Or maybe I should consider a better living situation for him.
Trying our best here. We know that you mean best intentions. Look, he's really fucking cute, but he's a wild
He's
animal.
adorable.
Yeah,
That's why he's so adorable.
Beak, it's so cute. Yeah. And then Simona just kind of helplessly shrugs and walks away. You get to your room. Oh my god. It looks like someone took a blender, filled it with bears, and the bears are it's awful, it's terrible. There are deep gouges in the wood. You can see that Simona has made as fundamental repairs for the structure of the room to remain sound as possible, but it's a disaster. You've seen ruins in better shape than your room.
When I was in university, at the raccoon got into somebody's dorm over the Christmas holidays, slipped in through the window, and then the window closed behind them. It was one of those kinds that flips up. They were stuck in there for the whole time, and they got back, and their bed was ripped up, their books were ripped up, everything was ripped up. It was crazy.
Yep.
The poor little thing was okay. It found food in there as well, but
College
yeah.
dorm, naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that's exactly what it looks like in Garen's room.
Yeah.
When my mom was in college, she hid a pet duck in her dorm room for like a week. But then she got snitched on. And, like the hall monitor or whatever they're called, the RA, came and they were like, hey, we've gotten some reports of like weird noises from your room. And she's like, oh, I've just been really sick and coughing a lot. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. If you need anything, let me know. Also, you need to get the duck out of here by tomorrow. And my mom's like, okay.
Hope you feel better, by the way. Get it out of here. So funny. Excellent. KayBee, what do you want to do?
So we are now on the ship, and how far do we have to go?
You have to go 2 miles south of Firewatch Island.
So how long are we on the ship?
You're only going to be on the ship for like 3 hours.
Okay. So I think KayBee's a flurry of activity. He's reading this book. He's pacing back and forth between his room and the kitchen. In the kitchen, he's got like 4 batches of cookies going. It's just like a storm there. He's making cookies, and he keeps saying, "More cookies! Bring more butter! Bring that olive oil!"
Oh shit!
And he's reading the book.
Oh, what did you do with the rats?
Oh,
true.
Guess they came.
I
back
brought
to
them.
Town. Yeah.
I was just introducing them to Tully.
that's right.
They're right here.
Okay, you now have 20 rats on your ship.
They're gonna live in the crawl spaces that the monkey used to live in.
Did you want them on the ship? I thought you took them back to the village over there.
Yeah, I told them that I was gonna. There would be a home for them on the village, so I'm not.
Yeah,
actually
we were gonna
them.
take them.
Okay,
we
so
offered to take them.
You release 20 rats into Uskarn before you leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't have to
Oh,
be
okay.
a swarm anymore, though. There's space enough for them to go
Okay.
and deal with their life in a natural way.
They can be 10 swarms.
Eventually, we'll come back and see how my swarm farm is going.
Yes. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, KayBee. You're reading this book.
So there's cookies and there's book reading, and then he paces back to his room and you hear pounding and wrenching, and there's heavy pieces of metal falling on the floor. People are like trying to look into the door. Like, what the hell? And he throws the door open. He goes back to the kitchen. He says, "More cookies." And people peek in the room. And they see that legs is all torn apart in pieces, scattered on the floor, and tools all over the place. It's like a project in progress. So it's KayBee is just overwhelmed with ideas right now, and he's fascinated by this book about giants, whatever kind of book it is. What kind of book is it about giants?
Let's see. It is a book about the cultural differences between known clans of giants. It talks about mountain giants, hill giants, different clans within those types of giants. Essentially, like breeding customs, gifting customs, like essentially just culture. And it covers a wide variety of different communities from all around Greyhawk.
That's perfect. So he's reading his book, and
so it's not history, it's more of like how to make giant friends.
Excellent. Is there pictures?
No. 0 pictures.
He's drawing pictures right in the book. So, and near the end of the journey, he walks the ship, visits all of his crewmates, all of his teammates. He's got this basket of cookies, right?
I got meat cookies here. Here's the carrot. This is a pure vegetarian carrot cookie. Here's clam cookie. Maybe you want to try one of those.
He's just inspired and overwhelmed. He's got big ideas.
So cute.
So that's what KayBee's doing.
All right. So the ship begins to pull up towards. You pass by Firewatch Island. You can see the Hermitage in the distance, but you continue southward, and eventually you begin to approach a stretch of ocean. You find the air almost changing around you. With perceptible being able to notice it perceptibly, you notice that there is a shift in the temperature. It gets cold, uncomfortably cold. It begins to rain, and you find that the navigation is quite rocky. You have members of your crew shouting, telling you to batten down hatches and tie ropes around things, hold on, be careful as you begin to head out into the ocean. You hear a bell as Imloth signals that a group of you are approaching the location. Virgil is standing quite prominently on the wheel as the anchor is lowered. The ship is brought to a stop. Even with the gusts billowing and pushing at everyone's faces and their hair, Virgil stands strong, unblinking, staring out into the storm. He squaws loudly. What do you do?
So, Captain, what are we doing?
I'm gonna ask Virgil what he's saying.
He's saying, "We've arrived. You should find the pit of hatred somewhere deep in the water beneath us. It may be well over 300 feet. So be prepared."
I suppose you all need to get ready in whatever ways you need to get ready, so you can breathe underwater.
I got air for everybody.
All right.
All right.
Everybody got
So
weapons.
then we
Make sure
dive.
nothing float off you.
Garen's gonna stop by Agni and see if there's any crossbows he can borrow and
Yeah.
bolts.
We'll say that he has 2 crossbows and 20 bolts each.
Right.
Pole, can Pole take one of those crossbows?
Presumably.
Or do you need to?
Garen?
Yeah, I don't need to.
I didn't think so. Okay.
Not gonna dual wield crossbows.
Yeah.
So I'm getting everybody ready, and really it depends on who's going. I guess I assume everybody's going. So what we've got is I assemble people in small groups of 3, and with one casting of my spell, I can help groups of 3 breathe underwater. So I think Arlen doesn't need it. I assume the rest of us do. That's 4 of us. Is there anybody else that's going to go with us?
So, just to be a little bit helpful, Garen, can you roll me a history check?
I'm gonna use my blessing.
Okay. Reroll that 4.
Watch, I get a 1.
Okay.
7. Now, not really any better.
7. All right. You remember that you found a lot of things in the wizard tower. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we did.
So as I cast this spell, it has a somatic component. And the somatic component, of course, is hand gestures. And the hand gesture for this spell is I put my thumb in my mouth and I wiggle my fingers. And there's a bubbly sound. As I cast Air Bubble, and I cast it as a 3rd level spell, so I can affect 3 people with one casting of that spell. So that's the first 3 people, which I think is going to be Paul and Garen and Finn.
Okay.
Is there anybody else going with us, Captain?
I think it would be wise if we kept all of our other fighters on the ship in case any undead make it to the surface and attack the ship, so that we have everyone available protecting those who are non-combatants.
So it's just the 5 of us, I think, right?
I would say that out of character, and in character. However, if any of you think otherwise and think we should bring anybody else, totally okay to chime in.
I think Finn, seeing how big the horde was that we all saw, would be an agreement that as many people we can keep on the ship, the better. Just because of how big the horde and how many there can be at one point. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll cast the spell again for myself and do that as a 2nd level spell slot.
Okay.
So we all have we have air bubbles around our head that allows us to breathe underwater for 24 hours.
Very nice.
Nice.
Okay. With that, you all dive. You swim down into the frigid water. You find that with this bubble formed around your head, manifested by KayBee's magic, that you're able to breathe normally. Begin to head down, down, down. And as you are making your way deeper into the water, it begins to quickly get dark. Let me do a check to see who has dark vision.
Garen puts on his goggles of dark vision.
Okay.
I have super dark vision,
Yes, you do. And you can share it.
and I can share it if we need.
I get
Okay.
60.
Pole doesn't. He's human. Doesn't have any special vision.
Okay.
Then I am going to use Eyes of Night and share my super dark vision with everyone around me.
Okay, what's the radius on that?
10 feet.
Okay.
And then the range is dark vision out to 300 feet.
Okay. Nope, don't need to do that. Okay. All right. Well, here. Can you see?
Nope.
Nope.
Ugh. Okay, hold on.
I see our health bars.
Let's say I see green bars, and that's about it.
All right, 1 second. Every time.
I can figure out which one mine is by hovering over it. It'll let me grab it.
Okay. Can you see now?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, heck.
The dark is strong here.
Is 1 better or is 2 better?
I hate eye
3?
doctors.
3 and then 4.
Oh, fuck it. Hold on. It's off.
Oh, we all have.
Hey,
now
there
I
we go.
can see everything.
All right, that's fine.
Yay! The eyes of night have kicked in.
Eyes of Night had kicked in. Very good. Okay. All right. I will need everyone to roll Constitution saves.
My.
To beat a 16.
Say Stella is the purple. Is that should be 2 squares for the 10 foot?
Yeah, I'm fixing that right now.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see.
Constitution save, you said?
Yes. Okay, that's a 6 for Finn, a 17 from Garen, a 20 from Arlen and Pole, and a 9 from KayBee.
I'm going to use my blessing.
Okay. 10.
Yay.
Okay. So,
Well, it was better.
Yeah, technically.
you begin swimming down.
See, we have extra markers on our. What do those markers mean?
It's just showing that you have dark vision or not.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Rotting skeleton of a war galley's stern looms up from the ocean bottom ahead. The sinking ship broke in half during its descent. Its bow section gone missing, but its stern plunged backward into the sea floor like a spike. Sandy bed around the wreckage is scattered and partially... Water sound is distracting. Partially buried in bones and debris. As you approach, the water becomes unnaturally cold. Schools of fish that swarmed in the waters above are conspicuously absent. So, I need... See who failed. Finn and KayBee failed. You both take 13 cold damage as this chill begins to creep into your bones, this supernatural, unusual cold in the water. Arlen, you being someone who has spent a lot of time in water, immediately flag this as something strange. This is something that is not characteristic. Not this deep. It's barely 300 feet in the water. It's way too cold for the lack of depth here. And I need everyone to roll a charisma saving throw as well.
Oh.
We're gonna do the full gamut. We're gonna do all the saving throws.
No, just these two. Okay, so that's a 16 from Garen, 24 from Pole, 7 from Finn, 17 from Arlen, and a 16 from KayBee. Finn, you are the only one who failed here. Finn, as you are swimming down, this cold, it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable. There's something in the water here that is kind of pulling at your skin. You feel a sort of tightness in your body that is uncharacteristic. You have vulnerability to necrotic damage until you leave the area. That means if something inflicts necrotic damage, you take double damage.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
I will remember.
As you're swimming down, what kind of formation are you taking? What do you have in your hands? What does this look like?
I think we're in the hug Arlen, stay close to Arlen
Yeah.
formation.
Puddle.
Okay. I'll need perception checks from everyone. You're kind of like swimming down in a formation where you're all around Arlen and you are in the influence of her twilight magic. So you can see this entire pit pretty easily. Okay, that's 18 from Pole, a 20 from KayBee, a 6 from Finn, and a 13 from Arlen. KayBee,
Rolling perception.
perception, yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine. 18 from Garen. So KayBee, you were the first to notice that there are shapes in the water up ahead.
I point, and the air bubble spell description doesn't say what it's like to shout in your air bubble, but I'm like, watch out! Look over here. I see my bubble vibrate. Yeah, I put my bubble up next to somebody up to Paul. I shout. Suddenly, Paul gets his ear full.
Yeah, so you see KayBee pointing off towards the west. There appear to be some humanoid shapes walking on the sea, quotation, sea floor here. You're
Do
essentially
they look like bad guys?
maybe. So essentially what you're seeing here as you're swimming down, there appears to have been a cave-in, essentially. This ship, when it crashed and it landed to this like cave, it broke the ceiling. So you're swimming directly down into a cave at the moment. So it's not necessarily the seafloor, right? But it is the floor of this cave.
Mhm.
And KayBee points out the 3 figures. They have not noticed you yet.
Are these? Do they look like undead? What do they look like?
Oh yes, they are standing upright underwater. They're definitely undead.
I cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay.
Yeah, I glance over to the boss, and I make the international symbol for let's mess them up, and when I get that look, yeah.
Okay. Please select your tokens and roll for initiative. You will get a surprise round.
Sweet.
With KayBee kind of like doing that check-in with Arlen. Arlen's gonna give KayBee advantage on initiative.
Dang. Let's try that again. Awesome. We're at 12.
It's better than a 6.
That's right.
All right, Pole, you go first.
Right. Pole's gonna shoot his crossbow with the closest one.
Okay. So for the sake of ease, we'll say that they have different color glowing eyes.
All right. Pole will shoot at the blue one with the blue eyes.
Okay.
There you go, blue eyes.
My blue eyes.
You're on the 10.
All right, with a 10, the armor class of this one is a 14, so that is a miss. It
That's it.
slowly turns around to look at you. Okay. We'll say that y'all are about here, where's the text? You are about 50 feet up.
So what does that make their range to us? 50 feet?
50 feet. You're 50 feet up, and whatever the... I'm not gonna do math here. Finn, it's your turn.
Oh, we're still so I would be too far away from melee yet still, right? I just keep swimming forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'll go 30. My speed's like 35, so I'll go 35 feet closer to the zombies then.
I think there's something wrong with the map. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 would be here.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'll just get myself ready for what I'm gonna try and do on my next turn.
Okay. Very good. Next, we've got KayBee.
Remind us, regular move speed?
I think it's halved unless you have a swimming speed.
Oh, yeah. So we'll just say, Finn, that you dashed to get through there.
Okay.
There, yeah.
Then I'm right next to them or whatever. I want to be in between the blue and the gold.
No,
Oh,
you would have to be there, because
Okay.
it would be half speed.
oh, I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
Yep.
Mhm.
Unless you have a swim speed. I think Arlen's the only one with a swim speed.
I don't think I have a swim speed.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, KayBee. That's
So, I
10,
think-
20.
This 20, half of 40. So I use my bonus action. I do my kata, my military martial maneuver that, like in martial arts, you demonstrate your opponent how you're going to mess them up. In this case, I got my trident out. So I do a spiral and a couple jabs to show how I'm going to slash and poke them. That enables my blade song. I use my blade song, and that boosts my move speed and my attack mojo. And with that, I'll use a move to move 20 feet to get closer to them. And from there, I'm going to unleash my attack, which I am attacking with a trident infused with the returning weapon property. So I chuck this at the orange-eyed dude.
Hey,
And that is a 23.
that's a hit.
So I guess that's one hand because it's thrown, 14 damage. And as soon as it strikes the opponent, it poof disappears out of the opponent's body and reappears in my hand, and I throw it again.
Okay. So it
my-
took 14 damage.
And
You
my
see,
second
as
attack-
the trident, you throw it, it
Yes.
slams into the zombie here, and you see a few bubbles escape from its mouth, but it doesn't react like it's in pain. It disappears. It reappears in your hand.
And I throw it again.
Throw
And
it again.
26.
That's also a hit. Another.
Do I sense that it's taking no damage? This is a magical weapon.
You sense that it is doing damage. It's just definitely undead because it's not reacting to pain. But you see that like it's taking chunks of flesh out of its chest. It is essentially effective. Just a very dead target.
I turn and I look to Garen and give him the nod. The nod.
Yeah.
Okay, Garen,
That
it's
was-
your turn.
All right. And that was all on blue, correct?
I was on
Orange.
gold.
Or
Cool.
okay, gold. Okay. Garen is going to use his cunning action to move a total of 30 feet.
Okay.
Oh, actually a little bit less.
10,
Remember, you won't be able to
20.
see.
Yeah, so this is
He's got-
30.
Yeah, he's
Mm.
got 60 feet of dark vision because of his goggles.
Oh, okay.
So this is 30 where you're at here. Because of
Okay,
half
Garen was
movement.
right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's only 4 squares from where Garen was at.
Hmm.
And you can move through allied
Okay.
spaces.
But-
That's
all right.
4, that's 20
So-
feet, which is half of 40. But if you're moving, you can only move 3 squares swimming, half speed. in
Right.
water. That might
And
be
then-
too many.
Cunning action would get me a
There we
regular
go.
movement.
Yep, do it again.
Hmm.
But still, that's close enough. Garen is going to fire on gold
Okay.
with the crossbow,
Okay.
but he doesn't have advantage, does he?
No, you get to do it regularly.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
28 is a hit. 11
that's-
damage.
pretty much all Garen can do right now.
You see that your crossbow bolt hits them straight in the head. It lands like in their cheek and it kind of crushes the face a bit, and clearly undead, still moving.
Mhm.
Anything else for you?
Nope. That will be it for Garen.
Okay. Arlen, it is your turn.
Okay. I will. Which one's better? I'm gonna cast Moonbeam.
Ooh.
So that's a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. I want to put it like right between the blue eyes and the gold eyes. So it hits both of them. And then when they start their turn there, they're going to take 2d10 radiant damage, and they'll have to make constitution saving throws.
I can barely see. Go. Five-foot radius.
So it'll be like 10 feet.
That.
Yeah.
Where did you want it?
In
Here?
these 4 squares. Oh, yeah, that's great. That works. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Get all 3 of them.
Yeah, okay. Do they make the constitution save now?
At the start of their turn.
Okay. Excellent. What does it look like when you cast this? Underwater.
Yeah, I think just suddenly in the darkness of this area, we're all relying on dark vision. Suddenly this beam kind of like comes down through the hole of the ceiling and shines onto these 3 undead. And it looks almost like moonlight. Just kind of like cascading through the water. And now we have a little bit of light, and they are going to take some radiant damage.
Love it. Okay. Hole, it is your turn.
Right. Well, Cole's going to take another shot. And it blue eyes there.
Okay. Go ahead. 14 is a hit.
Right. 2 damage.
2 damage. You see this crossbow bolt go cutting through the water, and it lands right in the calf of this creature. The creature turns and looks at you.
Cole reloads. Ready.
Okay. It's now their turn.
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
DC 15.
Okay. Never whispers. Constitution. Rolled a 9. It fails.
Okay, so they take 20 radiant damage.
Nice.
Okay. Interesting that it doesn't say it's vulnerable to radiant damage.
Right.
Okay. Well.
I mean, if you just want to write that in, I'm sure they meant to put it.
It takes 20 damage as this concentrated moonlight burns away at it. And then it begins to stumble forward. It'll move here. You notice very quickly that none of these are swimming and they don't try to swim. So they are on the floor of this cave here. They will raise up their hand crossbow as a multi-attack. Hello? So it's gonna try to shoot at Finn with an 11, probably a miss. Okay, and a 23. That hits. Okay, you take 5 piercing damage and 6 poison damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you, or you get blue rot.
Oh boy.
Roll a 7. Okay. So you take this crossbow bolt, it gets you in the gut here, and you notice that, oh, you're wearing clothes. You don't notice anything. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It stings
Nice,
a
cool.
little more than a normal crossbow bolt might feel, I think.
Yeah, Finn is just like, and he kind of feels a little bit more pain, kind of like, I'll say, because of visually probably be better, I'll just say somewhere around the like arm,
Mhm.
whatever. I guess we'll just say right arm or left arm, since I've got my sword in my right arm, because I'll probably be like standing like this. Just all around the upper part of my arm. I'm just like, man, that hurt more than normal. What the hell?
It is now your turn.
Yep. Hold on one quick second. So what was it again? 11.
That was 11 total, yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, cool. I'm updated. I can reach up to this one now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
cool.
you are 50
Oh.
feet above it.
Oh, that's right. So swimming even closer to it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess could I just use another dash again to get that much further closer to it?
Yeah. If you dash, you can be like basically right next to it in melee range.
Nice. That's what I want then.
Okay. So you'll be literally right here.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
You still have a bonus action.
Oh, well, since it gave me an owie that I've not more painful owie than normal, may as well just use Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay.
Oop. Or shoot, I don't know why I hit that. Sorry, wrong
It's
button.
okay.
Yeah. So I'll just throw my Hunter's Mark on it. I don't know how this would work underwater. It'd be a very failed attempt at trying to throw glitter underwater. But somehow it sticks.
Excellent. Okay. It is now this one's turn. It needs to make a Constitution save, correct?
Yep.
To turn off Whisper. Rolled a 9.
That is a failure. They take 14 points of radiant damage.
Okay. It will.
Okay, next.
10, 20, 30. All right. This one here you see is not wearing any armor. They are dressed in the robes of the Procan monks that you saw on Firewatch Island. they begin to like run forward, and it's very slow, very difficult to move underneath the water, and they will essentially end their turn here. They are effectively underneath you, KayBee. They don't do anything else. It's your turn.
Okay. I am. Let me measure some distances. Sorry.
Fine.
I am casting a spell as an action. The spell I cast is Bless. I am blessing my friends. I, with a wave of my hand and a floaty, slow-moving golden sparkle spreading in an arc and reaching out and touching Finn and Garen and Pole. They are blessed.
Okay.
They get an extra die 4 in attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay.
And therefore, I am concentrating.
I need all the help with my saving throws thing.
Is that sword symbol, you use that for concentration?
No, that sword symbol is your blade song.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm collecting all the bling.
Mhm. Anything else for your turn?
I do not have a bonus action. I want to use it this time. Thank
Okay.
you.
Garen, it is your turn.
All right. Yeah, Garen. Gonna move up to here. And he's gonna take a shot on blue.
Okay.
Oop.
Holy shit.
And he's gonna re-roll out
That's a hit.
one.
Okay. So that is a 25 to hit. Dealing a lot of damage. So that's
21 damage.
okay, thank you. 21 damage. This bolt hits the drowned creature here in the chest, and you see a bubble of air escape from their mouth. They're still up.
Mm.
Sorry.
Right.
Isn't it 30 something damage?
17 plus 9 is 16 plus
17 plus 9 is 26, plus 5 is 31.
Oh, yeah. You're right, 31 damage. Thank you.
Okay. How much did you say
And-
earlier?
no,
21?
21, yeah. So
Okay,
add 10
so
more damage.
Minus 30. Okay, cool. Okay,
Uh.
it looks way more fucked up. All right. Anything else for you?
That'll be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one will try to make a Constitution saving throw. Man, I keep hitting the button and then I roll a 20, but then I'm like, oh, I need to turn off whisper rolls. And then I hit it again and then it's under 20. Yeah, there we go. 8. Okay.
Perfect.
Fails.
Only
Yeah.
6 this time.
That's actually exactly what I needed. So
oh, really?
You see this one, as the moonbeam burns away at it, it burns away part of its head, and then the body collapses on the ground. It is
Let's go.
destroyed. Arlen, roll me a perception check, please.
I would love to roll you a perception check. I'm not good at it. 16. That's pretty good.
Okay. With a 16, you notice that there's some activity. Something is disturbing the water over in this direction, but you can't quite see it yet.
Okay.
On the other side of the ship.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna protect us on that side of things entirely.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna cast Sickening Radiance, which is a 30-foot radius sphere, so 60-foot circle of radiant damage. And I'm just gonna kind of throw it all on that side of the ship.
Okay. This is a concentration, so it will disrupt.
So it'll get rid of my moonbeam. Yeah.
Okay. We'll just repurpose this. 30-foot radius. Oh, geez, that's huge.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. Spreads within a radius sphere on a point like here. Do you want to like there?
I think it's even bigger than that. I think it's so
six
radius
squares,
is
right?
half, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be 12 squares.
Oh, Jesus. I think it's safe to say. I think it's safe
Yeah,
to
just
say
over
that-
there.
Yeah,
Generally.
I'll just put it on the map layer there. Okay, what does this spell look like?
Yeah. So a dim so the moonbeam you all see kind of sputters out and fades. And maybe you look around a bit confused for a second before this giant green kind of light aura suddenly bursts out on the other side of the ship, encompassing practically everything near you. And it seems to be coming from Arlen.
Wow.
So yeah, anything that happens to be over there that starts their turn, it's just gonna take that.
I have a question. Your Eyes of Night, is that just a thing or is it concentration?
It's just a class ability.
Okay.
It's free.
Okay, cool. Anything else for your turn?
Do I have... I'm gonna be a good friend, and I'm gonna healing word Finn.
Okay.
So Finn, you get 4 health back.
Yay! Paul,
I feel 4 hit points better.
Yeah.
Paul, you see this immense light just sunburst like into the nothingness of the water to your northeast. What would you like to do? You're muted.
Well, that's just like Celine, the handmaiden. I'm gonna shoot at Blue Ozzy, and he's still going.
Okay. $11 is a miss.
But I'm gonna use that bless for an extra D4.
Okay, yeah, this is possible. Yep, you
Made
hit it. Yep, 14. On roll
So,
damage.
9 damage.
Tell me what this looks like. How do
Whoa.
you end this one?
I've been doing these body hits that have been doing nothing, and then I get the shot right in the eye as he's thinking about that eye that he really, really hates from his dream. It's like boom, right through. It pops out. And
Hey,
the
that's
arrow
my
goes through the
thing.
back of its head.
Garen shouts, "That's my thing." Not
Comes
that
out
you
as
can hear him. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
My thing now.
You see the drowned creature collapse. Would you like to move at all?
No, he can't see if he goes away from here.
Okay. All right. So something start a Constitution saving throw. It fails.
Which one? You
Okay.
did? I think the one at the top of the initiative order is dead.
Is it? Or did another one of it spawn somewhere?
Oh my god.
Oh
So
my
that's
God.
gonna take 4d10 radiant damage.
Okay.
It's gonna suffer 1 level of exhaustion,
Uh-huh.
and then it emits a dim greenish light in a 5-foot radius. and it can't benefit from being invisible.
Okay.
So it takes 17 points of radiant damage.
All right. 17.
Suddenly we see all the invisible things that we're going to attack.
Yeah. So you see this green light begin to essentially coalesce even more profusely here in this shroud of light, and whatever it is begins to move. That's 10, 20, 30. And then it'll do 10, 20, 30. You see essentially this drowned creature beginning to skulk along the floor of the cave here, trying to hurry forward as fast as it can. Finn, it's your turn.
Finn's gonna go as close as he can to the green one now, I guess.
Okay.
To the green-eyed one, I guess. I don't know how far I can get to it.
Yeah, you can get to it. It's like 20 feet.
Okay. Cool. Alright, I can attack it then?
Yes, you can.
Yay! Okay, I'm gonna stab it with my newly acquired short sword.
Okay. You are blessed. You can roll a d4 if you like.
Why not?
Okay. 14 is a hit. The armor class of this creature is 13. So go ahead and roll some damage. Oh, you did 6. Okay. Yeah. So this creature in front of you is wearing the monk robes, and you stab them with the short sword, make contact. The flesh feels kind of hard. You find it's kind of difficult to land a very solid blow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have extra attack at your level? You can attack again if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and like it out like that, and then I'm gonna try again with another stab.
Okay. That's a hit. 7 damage. Again, you stab forward, you pull it back. The creature turns its head at an awkward angle to look at you. The undead creature is beholding you now.
Yay! Oh, can I throw my hunter's mark on this as well, since the other one died?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else for your turn? I think that's it.
That's it. That would be my bonus action to do that. Yeah.
Yep. It will turn around and try to hit you.
Surprise.
I rolled a nat 1.
Nice. I like that. Keep that going.
It misses. Okay. KayBee, it's your turn.
Okay, I think on the first turn I was moving down at an angle. Then on the second turn I didn't move. So I'm not sure what height above them I am currently, but I'm gonna swim down part way. You know, maybe I end up at being about 20 feet above. And I unleash the trident twice, thrown at Green Eyes.
Okay. 30
First
is a
throw,
hit. That's 10
10
damage.
Trident returns my hand. I cast it again, and
Another 30.
13 points.
Very good. You
And
see
that
chunks of
is-
flesh and fabric being ripped out.
Nice. And that's my turn.
Garen, it is your turn.
All right. Garen's gonna turn on green and take another shot.
Okay. All right. That's a hit. That's a 28. That's 30 damage.
Yeah.
What does this look like?
I'd say Garen turns on green, and as it's looking at Finn, he fires, and the arrow hits its eye and pierces at an awkward angle and actually punctures out the side of its skull.
It collapses. Anything else for you?
Say Garen probably recognizes something might be going on over towards that light and starts moving his way back that way.
Okay. right. The end of your turn. Let's see. Creature needs to do a Constitution save. 8. It fails.
It's gonna take 20 radiant damage and all
Ooh.
that other stuff.
Okay. 5 feet. Okay. You immediately it's made visible by this sickening radiance. 10, 20, 30. Okay. And then 10, 20. Though it's like next to your tokens, it's still 50 feet below you, and it comes to a stop just looking up at the group of you. Okay. Arlen, it's your turn.
Okay. I am going to do these two have crossbows, or like what are they equipped with?
No. The one that's closest to you has a sword, a rusty long sword, and the other one, this one does have a crossbow,
Okay. Can I
but it dashed on its turn.
Yeah. No. Yes. Maybe.
I don't
Cole,
know.
can I take you and swim a little bit further away?
Okay.
Okay. Arlen's gonna take Pole and swim a little bit further just to slightly more safety.
Okay. Since you're dragging pole, you'll have to do it at half speed.
That's fine. We'll move right over here.
Okay.
So Pole will be right here. And gosh, I'm scared of what else you might throw at us. I'm not gonna cast any more spells. I'm gonna hold off there.
Okay. So at the end of your turn,
Oh dear.
Did I curse us? Did I jinx us?
at the end of your turn, you are swimming around the ship here, and you're looking in the direction down that way. You see something walking here on the cave floor, making its way towards you. This creature is unlike the others. You see essentially what looks like a person that has gone under some sort of wicked transformation. Though they stand like a man, you see that one of their arms, or what would be arms, doesn't end in a hand, but instead there is this long tentacle that drags on the ground behind them. And you see this face that has been twisted, a wicked visage of horns and barbs growing out of their face where barnacles have not latched on. You can tell very visibly from the hat and from its mighty jacket that this is the captain, presumably the captain of the Tamarot. And that is where we're going to end our session for today.
Woo!
And we'll start next session on the captain's turn. Not our captain, their captain. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for coming to watch the show. Thank you so much for all of the cards and all of the support, and thank you to our Patreons, because of which we would not be able to do anything that we do on this channel. Before we close out for the evening, I'd like to go around and reintroduce everyone at the table. Please tell me who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite part of today's episode was. And we'll start with Emma.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. I'm also writing a TTRPG called All the Witches. You can find information about that at allthewitches_ on Twitter.com or updates on the Kickstarter. I played Arlen Ruvelath. My favorite part, this is about me, which is selfish, but that was my first time casting that giant like AoE spell, and just Stella being like, you see something in the water kind of coming from the other side, and I was like, I'll just cover everything over there. And us seeing how big a 30-foot radius spell actually is, it was fun.
That was really cool. I've never seen that spell ever. I've never even heard of it before. So that was really cool. Thank you for showing me something new. Very cool. Thank you. We'll pop on over to GeekDice.
Hey, I am GeekDice. You can find me at geek_dice on X. I love D&D. I hope you love D&D too. This is why D&D is so much fun. A lot of fun tonight. I think my magic moment was Pole. I think Pole's one of my favorite characters. Seeing Pole negotiate with an animated object trying to communicate using, if it doesn't have ears and it doesn't have a mouth, using pictures and emoting into the thing that, hey, we're friendly and you can be friendly with us. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant Pole move. So I have to hand it to John. John, when you don't like the rules, change the rules of the game. Well done, brother.
I especially love the like visual you said of like everyone just walking like happy going on an adventure and the eyeball just following them. Like that was such a cute visual. I loved it. Chef's kiss.
It seems really not cute in retrospect.
Well, you didn't know. You didn't know. Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to Tim.
Hey, I'm GodfatherWraith _ESG. I really don't have any kind of a social media presence, but you can find me here in Stella's chat, her Discord, or various other communities of various other streams of community members when they're streaming. So yeah. No, Max, that wasn't my favorite part. Don't know if you guys heard Max sounding off, but she likes to state her opinion. So I'm gonna have to agree with KayBee. Pole's attempt to communicate with the eyeball was very funny, but I also enjoy the thought that Garen was walking around happy. And any depiction, just how not fitting it is.
I was imagining kind of like, that like Hakuna Matata scene where they're like
Oh, yeah.
all like really happy and jaunty over the log.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
imagining that for the whole party.
Yo.
Totally.
Excellent. Thank you very much. John.
Yeah, I'm John, also known as Andicarus. You can find me on most social media as Andicarus. In particular, you can find me on my itch.io channel where I put little games up, and you can expect that there's going to be another little game in about a month and a half because I'm joining the one-page RPG Jam, which is an annual event. It's a very fun one. I created a game a few years ago called Lucky Day Seniors Bingo, which has bingo cards as part of the rule system. I'm going to hopefully find something just as weird and fun. Waiting for the theme of this game jam to be announced on the 22nd, but then I've got a month to do it. I suggest anyone else who likes to write RPGs and isn't writing a really huge one right now that's taking up all their time, try it out. It's fun and there's a lot of good feedback. You can get people to playtest your stuff. Anyways, back to this game. I play Pole of Amundfort. Pole had an interesting game in that I think he's had a lot of success recently with getting potentially unfriendly things to be friendly things. This was not that day. So my favorite moment really was when we found out how bad that this eyeball thing was bad and was giving him nightmares. And he explained that to his party, and 2 of them were seriously considering pulling out their eyes and putting it in their eye. And he was just, what the actual fuck?
That's so much power, John.
Are we done talking about it? I don't know.
Yeah. So that was definitely it for me.
I absolutely love this. I'll have to like make a mental note to come back to talk about this subject in probably probably at the end of next session. Just remind me that about the eye if that doesn't come up, because it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting what happens next session. But thank you very much. And then we'll hop on over to Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie. I'm Z. Whatever your names you have to call me. I am the Lord Keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips, but that's up to your own discretion. Today I played Finn Carson, Ranger Researcher. I didn't mention any of this in the beginning spew, but I have a Twitter. You can follow it at ZombieFighter89. If you go there, there's a pinned tweet made by the lovely Lady May. Also within that tweet as well is a Google Doc sheet of all of the stuff that I'm working on, or have worked on rather. I just updated it for not this promo video that released today, but the last one before then, which I thought I did a really cool job on as well. I mean, I thought I kind of did a cool job with the smoke effect and whatever fog effect I did for this past video as well. But be that as it may, if you're looking for any work, if you know anyone who needs video editing, Twitch clipping, or even short making, get a hold of me. All my info is in that tweet, in the pinned tweet there. And then, if you haven't had enough of this right here, and Stella as well, next week I will be part of the Frost Maiden campaign as well that we have running on this channel, and where I play Bam Nash, and I always forget to promote the other games on the other games, so I'm happy I remembered this time. Favorite moment has to be Arlen's big giant like sun showing up and just like boom, everything is seen now. Because I as well have never seen that before. And just like the part that got me was like, nope, it's that big. Nope, it's a little bigger. Nope. Oh, there you go.
Doing the math, it's like, no, wait.
Nope. Just gradually watching it go whoop, whoop, whoop. So I'm just imagining in game, right? Arlen's casting it going, wait, nope. No, it's not that. There we go. Now I got it all casted.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you. I'm Stella Luna. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all the people who are watching this from YouTube as well. And thank you to all of our Patreons. Please hop into our Discord if you want to come and hang out with us. We will be running a couple of different games here pretty shortly. So if you're interested in playing, please let us know. And another thing I wanted to add was next week, I think it's next week, Tuesday, right? Am I getting that wrong? Yeah, yep. Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be the first episode of one of our new Patreon campaigns for Humblewood, where we're going to have some familiar faces playing as humble folk and bird folk that live in Humblewood. And it's going to be really cute. I'm very excited.
Are the familiar faces too humble to announce themselves?
I'm not at all, no.
That was a little sneak peek into Zombie's character. It's gonna be so good. But that's gonna be it for us. Thank you so much for being here. Please stay safe. We'll see you next time. We'll be back with more Saltmarsh on the 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Bye.
Bye.